Hi, everybody. I'm Kitty Demure. Let's talk about Ben Shapiro. So I came across a video of Ben Shapiro talking about retirement and Social Security. He thinks it's stupid to retire at 60, 65, 67, whichever.
Apparently blew up the internet. I blew up the internet because of something that I said on this show. What exactly did I say that blew up the internet? Well, I touched the political third rail. I talked about Social Security. Now, I know what you're thinking. What's so spicy about Social Security? And I will admit, I was thinking the same thing because there are a few simple facts of the matter with regard to Social Security. One, we don't have the money for it.
And yes, Ben Shapiro, there is enough money. There's enough money for Israel. There's enough money for Palestine. There's enough money for the Ukraine. There's enough money for illegal aliens. There's enough money for citizens. I guess they'll just have to find the money, won't they?
And two, with regard to sort of the personal decision to retire, very often when people retire, they're making a bad decision. This is what I said. I want to play you the clip of what I said yesterday, and then I want to discuss why exactly this was so controversial. And I think it goes deep to the root of something that's happened on both the right and the left, which is this weird idea that work is somehow demeaning and bad and terrible, and that somehow purpose and fulfillment don't come from work. And
not everybody finds fulfillment in clocking in at a job.
Don't come from church and don't come from family. So where do they come from? That's a broader argument. We'll get to that in a moment. I want to play you this clip because this apparently set 1,000 hearts aflutter. And let's be real about this. It's insane that we haven't raised the retirement age in the United States. It's totally crazy. Joe Biden, if that were the case, Joe Biden should not be running for president. Hey, Joe Biden is 81 years old. The retirement age in the United States at which you start to receive Social Security and you are eligible for Medicare is 65. Joe Biden has technically been eligible for Social Security and Medicare for 16 years, and he wants to continue in office until he is 86, which is 19 years past when he would be eligible for retirement. No one in the United States should be retiring at 65 years old. Frankly, I think retirement itself is a stupid idea unless you have some sort of health problem.
Do you suggest that old Americans just work until they're dead? When do they ever get to enjoy life? For some reason, Ben Shapiro has a problem with people who want to retire by 65 or 67. Now, I do appreciate that he did state that blue-collar workers or people who are injured should retire early. But in the end, it's really none of his business. I wonder if Ben Shapiro knows what the majority of the jobs are in this country. If you look at this statistic, it clearly shows you that most jobs are service-related or are labor jobs or are blue collar. That means the majority of the people in this country are physically working, and your body only has a certain lifespan.
Everybody that I know who is elderly, who has retired, is dead within 5 years.
That's funny because the people I know who retire are now enjoying their time off because they didn't sit behind a microphone earning millions of dollars. I don't see how it's Ben's business when somebody wants to retire. You said most people you know who retire die within 5 years? Well, maybe they waited too long to retire. Not everybody has had the life that Ben Shapiro has had. Not everybody has $4 million in the bank. Some people don't even have $200 in the bank. I am really happy that Ben Shapiro is fortunate enough to not dig ditches. Ben Shapiro does not represent the majority of workers in the United States. I just want to say I am grateful for people who have to use their bodies to work. Without them, what would we have?
And if you talk to people who are elderly and they lose their purpose in life by losing their job and they stop working, things go to hell in a handbasket real quick. But put all of that aside.
So according to Ben, you should work until you're dead? There is no reason why an elder United States citizen who has worked their whole life should live in poverty. I don't know, Ben. I kind of think you could have gone a different route with this. You could have chosen to make content on any subject. You're the one who decided to make content on changing Social Security. I'm actually very surprised at your take. Yes, Social Security doesn't pay enough, and there are people who are barely living off of it. Anyway, I will say this, as a person who was forced onto Social Security, it is no way to live. It is no living. You get no extra money. You're absolutely right. There is hardly any money in it, and we need to change it. for people who can no longer work. I am all for people investing on their own. I do. In fact, I listen to what Nancy Pelosi does, and I buy those stocks, and I win every time. If Ben Shapiro wants to invest his own money and grow his own retirement, he's more than welcome to. Life happens. People get divorced, people die, a lot of things happen in people's lives. And that's why we need a safety net in this country for people who are honest, decent, and who have worked for a living. Anyway, so that's my take on what Ben Shapiro said. I really like Ben Shapiro. I like a lot of his values and I like a lot of what he stands for. I just think he was completely tone deaf on this subject.